Hey everyone, Dom Tibbetts here alongside Joe Buscaglia from The Athletic, recapping mandatory mini camps day 2 and 1. Now we're all done getting ready for training camp coming up at St. John Fisher here in just a couple of weeks in late July. Joe, I think we kind of know where we have to start when we're talking about mandatory mini camp. The last 2 days, all kind of around Stefan Diggs. What are just your observations and takeaways from, seeing it Tuesday when he wasn't there, getting to Wednesday where he is there, and it seems like everything is normal? Sean McDermott kind of surprises us with a press conference to bring some clarity into this situation. What were just your takeaways from those last 2 days surrounding Diggs?
Yeah, a bit of a flair for the dramatics there on that Tuesday, that's for sure. It went from, just not really having a lot of clarity at the beginning when Sean McDermott first spoke. And, maybe I guess this is how it all kind of spun from that day on, where maybe Sean was just speaking as a matter of fact at the time being, as opposed to whether or not existentially Stefan Diggs was in Buffalo or anything like that. But the way that he said it just kind of set off some alarm bells. And then it was the catalyst for this entire event, to where, not a lot of attention was paid to practice on Tuesday. And there were kind of things bubbling over on the surface as things are kind of going along. There were reports coming in the middle of practice, which is, I think, a first for me, as covering all these mini camps. But the Bills were hell-bent on saying, look, this is an issue that we're going to fix, the players, that is. And they didn't seem overly concerned about it. Lo and behold, on Wednesday, Steph Diggs is there, and him and Josh Allen are, seemingly buddy during practice, during the stretching warm-up. So now it's just a matter of seeing, if this thing pops up again. And I think that's the biggest question, because there's just so much vagueness about what the problem actually was, or what the miscommunication, disconnect, whatever word you want to use. And they just have to make sure that this problem doesn't permeate once the team gets all together back together in late July for training camp. But it seems like they reconnected for the time being, but now it's just a matter of, okay, is it a Band-Aid or is it a permanent solution? And that's something they're just gonna have to answer over time.
Yeah, I think vagueness is that's the word you use. I think that's the best way to look at it, because Josh Allen kind of says it was a non football related issue. That's really all you got from him. Sean McDermott comes up to clarify Wednesday. I left Wednesday. The common comparison I've been using is from the episode of SpongeBob when they are messing with Mermaid Man and they touch the orb of confusion. Because that's what, for me, it's been feeling like the last couple of days getting around this situation. McDermott says, when he was asked if this resolved, he says, I feel like this issue is resolved. If you're a Bills fan, how good about that do you feel? I know there's not going to be much we can even look into, because now we have weeks off until we get to training camp. But if you're a Bills fan, you hear that from McDermott. Do you think there's some weight to that? Did it feel empty? Or can you at least take some confidence that, we'll get into training camp and things will kind of be status quo?
Well, I think the most confidence you can take from it is that Stefan Diggs was there and participating. So that's a check mark. Like, if they were to say, we feel like this is resolved and Diggs wasn't at practice, then this is a completely different story that probably continues on. And it could even still continue on. But I think it's resolved for the time being, however much time that is. And they just have to be really careful, because these are their two most important players on the roster. Due respect to Von Miller, everybody that they have on the defensive side of the ball. We have seen year after year after year, great offenses win Super Bowls. They win world championships. And so if you do not have your quarterback and your wide receiver all bought in, then it could be some problem. But just the way that Josh Allen was so quick to try and fix this problem, there was some urgency there. So from that point forward, it's just a matter of cultivating the relationship and continuing it on. My colleague at The Athletic, Tim Graham, I listened to a spot on a podcast that he did, and he alluded to, culture isn't just guaranteed within an organization once you establish it. You have to continue to work on it. It's a lot like a marriage in that respect. And I thought that was a great analogy. So it's just going to be kind of a work in progress. I know that's probably something that, fans just want it to be done, dead issue, everything like that. But, thoughts like this don't just go away overnight, especially if they were so strongly held by Diggs, whatever they were, that they needed to have some space on Tuesday before practice began.
Absolutely. And, like you said, that kind of dominated the storylines of those 2 days of minicamp. But there was a lot of really important things. Like, it's very tough to judge these position battles because you're not seeing the guys in pass. They're not going full speed. But this is, especially on the defensive side of the ball, there are a lot of position battles, I feel like, that we're going to be paying a lot more closer attention to in the training camp that are really going to be the bigger storylines. Obviously, I think the big one, middle linebacker. With just your assessment, Joe, of what you've been able to see, knowing that these guys aren't in pads yet, Is anybody stand out to be that guy to replace Tremaine Edmonds, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it really boils down, at least at this point, to three players, that being Terrell Bernard, their 2022 third-round pick, Tyrell Dodson, who's been in the system since, I believe, 2019, like on their practice squad, and recently he's been on the back end of their 53-man roster, and then their third-round pick this year, Dorian Williams. I think those three guys probably have the best shot at it. They still have guys on the outside like AJ Klein, Balin Spector, who was a seventh-round pick last year. I think they are probably on the outside looking in on this competition. It'll probably boil down to one of those three that I talked about. And the piece that you have to see in mandatory minicamp, because like you said astutely, with minicamp, you can't really take too much away from a linebacker because physicality is so ingrained in that position, and there's just none of it because there's no pads, there's no contact, there's nothing like that. But with the brand of defense that the Bills play and putting them and seeing how these players do as a matchup linebacker in coverage, I think is the most important piece. And from what I saw over OTAs and minicamp there, it seemed like each of those guys kind of flashed in that department. I think it will come a little bit more naturally to guys like Bernard and Dorian Williams. Dodson, when he was in the lineup in the regular season and in years past, really struggled in pass coverage and, having the instincts to know where he needed to be. But I thought he had a few really good reps throughout the spring workouts. So that's the biggest takeaway. They kind of check the box there. Now it's a matter of having those instincts to, intrinsically know where the play is going and be well studied to know where the play is going, because that could be the matter of, a stop at the line of scrimmage, a 1-yard gain, and a 10-yard gain. So that's what we need to see next.
One more on the defensive side too. Me and you, I feel like, because I've heard you on in your writings on podcasts, talk with Matt about Kaiir Elam possibly being the guy who steps into the quarterback 2 role opposite of Trey White. Then Cameron Dantzler comes in. Where is there a leanway, you think? And again, another tough position to judge because there's no physicality. It's not running full speed a lot of times for minicamp, but is Kaiir still your leading guy to have that spot opposite Trey White, or did that room get a little bit more crowded, a little bit difficult for him to maybe lock up that spot?
The sense that I got from the spring workouts is that the cornerback 2 job is wide open. We heard early on in OTAs, John Butler, their defensive back, their cornerbacks coach, essentially said, the best guy is going to win the job. And that's not necessarily a thing you want to hear if you're in support of Kaiir Elam, their first round pick in 2022, taking the job and running with it. Now, the contradictory statement to that is, okay, that could just be coach speak, but I don't think it is. I think this is a legitimate competition, just like my middle linebacker. And I think the guys you need to keep an eye out for are Elam. Obviously, he'll be right there in it. And they would prefer him to win the job because they invested a lot in him. And that's a big piece of the puzzle here. But Dane Jackson is someone that they love. They have developed him since 2020. They actually cut Dane Jackson in his rookie year, had him on the practice squad, and then brought him back. And he signed a fully guaranteed 1-year contract this offseason. And then Christian Benford, who is still playing cornerback. He did not move to safety. I think those 3 guys are going to be The ones that are in the competition. Now, Dantzler, he has experience. I didn't see any guaranteed money on his contract, so it might be tough for him to make the team. He's really going to have to prove it either, on defense or on special teams. Not impossible by any means, but I think it really boils down to those three guys. And I don't know that the Bills have their minds made up who's going to do it. I think it's going to be the best man for the job. And if they want to go with experience, it might just be Dane Jackson again.
Oh, sticking there too, I guess, with Christian Benford, like you noted, we kind of thought maybe he'd get moved to safety, but he's still working in that cornerback room. Obviously, everything with Damar, I don't take anything away how just incredible this journey to his progress to getting back there, and just like seeing him out there from OTAs to minicamp. It's something that I think it's still just like, it's dumbfounding to think you were in Cincinnati. I think you were in Cincinnati. Were you in Cincinnati when it happened?
Yeah, I definitely was. I'll never forget that night.
Yeah. So I guess this goes back to another just with Damar making the 53-man roster. Are still things maybe going in that right direction? Do you think he still has the ability from prior to last year's injury and where the Bills' belief in him to get into the safety position and get himself into that room to ultimately make the 53-man?
Yeah, I think a couple of positive indicators were brought to light during the spring workouts, and one of those was him going through and being a full participant at I believe it was the final week of OTAs, and then pushing that forward into minicamp. And then on top of that, Brandon Beane, after one of those OTAs, I can't remember if it was the second or the third week, said that he doesn't think that it would that him beginning training camp on one of those reserve lists, whether that be physically unable to perform or non-football injury, he doesn't foresee that being the case. Things could change, you never know, but he doesn't see that in the cards for the beginning of camp. So that's a major check for what Damar Hamlin is trying to do. Now from here, like we pointed out with the linebackers, these were practices without pads. These were practices without contact. And the mental side of it is so important for Damar Hamlin, and which is why they're not going to put any pressure on him to try and push this where he is going to be either locked in, fourth safety, everything like that, or that he needs to play special teams right from the get-go. If I had to guess how they're going to play it, they're going to, have a feeling out process, have an open line of communication with Damar Hamlin, and make sure that he is good every step of the way, and even over communicate in this instance, because it's so important, that mental piece. And I think what they could do is they could keep someone that might have some flexibility to play safety, to where if they do keep Damar Hamlin on the 53-man roster, which is where I think this is headed, that way they have someone also in-house that can be that fourth safety, that can take that off his plate until he feels like he's all the way there. Because you just don't know how you're going to react until you get that first hit. And it might be a scary thing. You just don't know how that human, after all, is going to react. So I think that might be the way that they play this thing.
Now, switching just gears to a general just consensus from even just all the spring practices, amidst everything, maybe take away the Stefan Diggs surprise that we got these last 2 days of minicamp. What was the biggest surprise to you? Did anything stick out as something that you weren't expecting, or guys that were stepping up, or maybe guys when they were signed in the offseason, you didn't think they had a shot in even maybe making that 53-man down the road, and now look a little bona fide for that position? What are your thoughts, observations, and just surprises coming out of spring practice?
Yeah, I don't know that there were any guys that might have been on the bubble that stepped up, but I will say guys that maybe were further down the depth chart, or at least one in my mind, was Trent Sherfield. I thought he was a really pleasant surprise throughout all OTAs and definitely at minicamp, because without Stefan Diggs in team drills at any one of those practices, someone had to step up, and we saw Allen look for Sherfield quite a bit throughout those. Well, let's see, how many was it? Five sessions this spring that the media was allowed to see. So that sort of rapport is definitely a good sign. It's not the okay, this guy's going to be a factor in the offense because there's just still so much time left. But the way that I look at OTAs and minicamp is it's a way to put yourself in a good light for more reps once training camp gets around the corner. And then once training camp arrives, what you do with those more reps will help determine whether or not you're going to be a every week contributor in the offense. So Sherfield did everything right in the spring, and I think he's giving himself some opportunities. So he's someone to kind of keep an eye on as, he battles Khalil Shakir and Deontay Hardy for playing time, respectively, in this offense. The other thing I'll point out is I was pretty intrigued by how much that Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid were linking up throughout the spring workouts. And, the way that the Bills have played things with their rookies previously is kind of going slow with all of them. And, seeing Kincaid get targeted a lot and being trusted by Allen a lot is just a really good sign heading into training camp for the Bills, and for them potentially maybe even getting something out of that player in his first season, whether it be significant or not. The thing that I was reminded of when I was watching Kincaid and Allen work together was back in Dawson Knox's rookie season. Allen and Knox had a pretty good connection in those spring workouts. And it made me think, okay, if Allen is trusting him at this early in the process, that's probably a good sign of things to come. And it wound up, it took Knox a little bit of time to get there as an overall tight end player, but he wound up getting there, and now he's one of their core pieces moving forward. I think seeing that from Kincaid early on in just the first few practices with the team's franchise quarterback, and we all know what Josh Allen wants carries a lot of weight in that organization. I think that's a good sign for the first round pick.
That kind of even pours into my next question, which I was just going to ask generally just about the rookies, but let's focus it on Kincaid. And I think to your point, like you talked about with Elam, right? You take a guy in the first round, you want your return on investment. And it clearly seems, just from what I've seen in spring, what everybody's kind of been observing about Dalton Kincaid, was it looks like he is worthy of that 25th overall pick, and he's clicking really well, meshing really well. If you were Ken Dorsey trying to integrate and keep this offense on pace with just the guys now you have in your division, keeping up with the Chiefs and the Bengals to get over that hump, is it hard right now to quantify or even measure what Kincaid could bring to that offense, and just how good maybe it is just to see him getting so acclimated early on with the way Josh is and the way he leads that offense?
Yeah, I think it's a little difficult from a projection standpoint because there's a couple of different variables. The first is, the spring part. And then the second is because the Bills have been so hesitant to put such a workload on their rookies. So you don't all the way know. But I think what the Bills want to do and what they should do this year is be a lot more predictable on offense than they were last year. Last season, we saw them want to get more into 12 personnel. They went out and they signed OJ Howard. It was supposed to be this big thing where they play with two tight ends more often. They wound up playing 12 personnel at the lowest rate of any NFL team in 2022 at around like 3.7%, I think it was. The next closest team was at like 5 point something percent. So they did not hold to that. They became predictable. It kind of felt a little stale by the time things went at the end of the season. And, you could always, when push came to shove, they would have three receivers on the field and they're probably passing the ball. That was the Ken Dorsey way last year, and hope that Josh Allen bailed them out. Now you have more pieces. They refreshed a bunch of things. Dalton Kincaid, if they can find a way to have him and Knox on the field at the same time, I think that will help the offense. But how much are they willing to put on a rookie's plate is the hugest piece of the puzzle. And I just don't have the answer to that right now. I think they want to do that, but if they start to struggle, will they stick with it is my biggest question.
Absolutely. Joe, honestly, for just football standpoint, I think we've covered all of our bases here, but I do have one final question. As we get ready, of course, we're going back one more year. As of right now, we're going back to Rochester at St. John Fisher. You've been doing this long enough. I know my colleague Matt Bove would have his answers too, but I want to ask you, give me like your top 3, top 5 Rochester, Pittsford area establishments, the must go tos for Joe
Wow.
Buscaglia when it comes to training camp at St. John Fisher.
Wow. I might be old and outdated at this point just because I'm a psychopath and I drive home every day these days. But when let's see, I know Bove would say Marge's. That's like his number one go-to,
Big time,
the
big time.
beach establishment. I think the Jenny Brewery is pretty cool, just because it's a bit different. I think we went to a place called Trotta. I'm fairly certain. If I'm butchering these names, I'm sorry to these establishments, but that was a good place. They do like a fill your own or pour your own beer sort of mechanism as of last year. And there's been a cool few pop-up breweries that have really emerged on the scene over the last few years. So yeah, I'll probably go with the ice cream place right in Pittsford. I
Pittsford
forget
Dairy.
that's the one. Yeah. Yeah. My wife, when she came with me, she was a big fan of that.
So that was going to be my one suggestion. Literally took the words out of my mouth. My
Sorry.
sister just no, you're good, because my sister just graduated from Fisher this spring, and she finally took me to the Pittsford Dairy. It was unbelievable. I will be back there multiple times. Two quick underrated, overrated: the turkey burgers.
Overrated completely.
Ooh, all right, okay,
Yeah.
and a garbage plate.
Nah, not for me.
No, okay.
Not
I
for me.
I'm not with you on the turkey burgers. I
Yeah.
think they are very good. Garbage plates, however, I don't know how anybody can do it without an adult beverage in their system. Like
Yeah,
at like
that
3 in the afternoon, eating a garbage plate's also not my thing.
I think that was left for when I was like 18 or 19, and at like 2 in the morning or something like that.
Awesome. Well, Joe, thank you as always for your time. Appreciate you, folks. Joe Buscaglia from The Athletic. I'm Dom Tibbetts. We'll see y'all next time.